Well, hello again. We're back here in the free solo. Shanna's in freak out mode.
I am.
So, it's a travel trailer. We're in a rural setting in Georgia. I don't know what she expects, but we got a mouse in here. So there's some signs. We haven't seen the mouse. There's just signs of the mouse and some underneath storage stuff. So I'm going to crawl around under some more. I mean, if you watched our previous videos, I've been sealing all the cracks and crevices up. So today I'm going to crawl underneath, see if there's anything else I can foam. I'm taking panels off down across the bottom where we've seen the signs. Put some traps in here and seal as much as I can up. And then Shanna will spend the day cleaning before our trip this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not traveling with poop everywhere.
Yeah, we leave Sunday for our next 3-day trip. So we came out here. I'm getting the griddle seasoned a little bit better and figured we would just clean up, and we found this. So we're starting the trip with a quick recap of sealing stuff up.
Yes, very much so. I mean,
otherwise Shanna will be a nervous wreck the entire time we're camping.
Yes, I will be.
So I'll dig in, show you a few spots if I find any, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so spot number 1, under the dinette seat near the kitchen. There was this panel down here is a trim panel. Once I pulled that off, you can see a little bit of an opening there, and then openings there where the battery wiring comes in into the back. So I'm going to go ahead and seal those up. So working on sealing up under those seats, and checked one more area and found a few more pretty massive holes in the bottom of this thing that I'm sure is where a lot of the bugs are coming in.
Well, I'm sure that's where the mouse came in too.
Yeah. So I'll spin this around, see if I can get a light in here. So there's an access panel under the wet bath. If you get down here, there's hole number 1. So that'll be easy enough to seal up with foam. Then, if you pivot back over here, you can see where those lines come through. That's probably a good 5-6 inch hole right there, with just a couple pipes coming through it, and it's wide open around it. So I'm trying to track down as many spots as I can, so I can try to get all these with 1 can of foam. So hopefully it's just like a $4 fix. So check a few more spots and then I'll get to foaming everything. It's camping trip day. We're all hooked up, ready to roll. This will be a first for us. We're taking 2 vehicles, so I won't have Shannon in the vehicle with me while I'm towing, and then she's just gonna follow. We'll explain that later. But next stop's the campground. We'll give you a little tour when we get there and go from there. Okay, well, we're at the campground all set up. We got our little tent this time. Shanna's about to try our cooking experiment number 1 now that we ripped out all the cooking stuff from the camper. So she brought her air fryer, and then we've got our griddle. So we're gonna try to do hamburgers on the griddle and potatoes in the air fryer. So we'll do that. See, we got the lake behind us. Campground's pretty nice. It's a fishing and paddleboarding campground.
No hiking.
Yeah, I was hoping there's more hiking trails, but we heard this was great for paddleboarding. So that's why we scheduled it. It's close to the house, and we'd never been here before. And the lake out here looks cool, and will be fun to paddleboard if the weather cooperates.
I don't know, but we'll
Right now, that's not looking great. But other than that, we're close to Macon, so we just needed something, so we ran into Bass Pro Shop, so that's convenient.
Yeah.
But Echo will still enjoy walking the campground, and Shanna said the bathrooms were pretty decent.
Yeah, wasn't bad for a campground.
But now it's just hangout time. A little bit later we might walk around the campground, give a little video tour of that, pan around on the lake, and then we'll see what the weather does and what we can get into.
Yeah, who knows?
Yep. So you can see Shanna's got her air fryer going. So, little extension cord. Run that picnic table. And hamburgers on the grill. Dinner.
The sun's
I know. It's been cloudy all day till the second we sit down at the table. Hot.
It just came out. I thought you'd be smarter than that.
Should have known better. He said they're going from here to Cholula Falls, then to Pigeon Forge, and then to Falls Creek Park in Pikeville.
Who is? Oh.
Would be curious if we got another griddle. So we're out walking the campground a little bit. It's a pretty small campground, so a little picnic shelter up here we're going to check out while we walk the doggy. This is one of the quietest campgrounds we've been to. Haven't seen kids running around playing. It seems like a lot of older people. There's been a few kids we've seen, but relatively quiet, so kind of surprising. He's like, I've seen enough. Let's go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And?
That's not enough. I didn't get all the way over there and it'd be like sitting in somewhere. So that you brung the towel, that's the only thing you brung in
I brought the towels in,
that bag.
the empty bag, and the paddle boards.
Yep, they're still sitting there.
So, a little update. Today was our paddleboard day. We got everything out, getting ready to inflate the paddle boards, and realized someone forgot to load up the swimsuits. So we have no swimsuits or anything. So, home's not quite an hour away. Shanna, I think, is going to drive.
I can drive back, go get it, see Sky for a second. She'll be excited.
I'll be confused. You keep leaving and coming back. So, looks like I will stay here and have the chore of inflating the paddle boards. She's going to go get our stuff, so at least we're not too far from the house on this one, but the one thing we were looking forward to is paddleboard, and that's what this place is known for. Because there's not much else to do here but that. But
Nope.
so, I'll get inflating, she'll get to driving.
Yep. Alright, I'll be back.
Anything else you can think of
On what?
that we need that we're forgetting?
No, we got the sunscreen in the car. I brought sunscreen.
See who needs suits.
Alright. I'll run home.
Alright. I almost forgot to mention why we brought two vehicles on this trip. It really came down to one thing, but then once we talked about it, we realized there was a couple other benefits as well. The main thing was the AC in the Tahoe's out. Since our dog Echo is 14, we really don't want to put him in the hot car for too long a period, so we decided it was better to bring the other vehicle that has AC. So that was really the main thing. Having said that though, there was also the benefit that if we have to go to town, if we take the spare vehicle, we're keeping miles off of the Tahoe. And since it's looking like, with the way the truck market is, I'm probably not going to get a truck before we sell the house. So we need to keep the miles as low as possible on the Tahoe, since that's going to be our full-time tow vehicle. And the last benefit is it allows us to see how much of our stuff we can get in the 2 different vehicles and the camper. Since we're going to be full-timing for a while, we'll probably have both vehicles through that, so we need to know how much we can carry. This gave us that chance. Well, I've been pumping up this first paddleboard while Shanna's going to get our swimsuits, and thought I'd talk about these eye rockers for a minute. For the most part, we've liked them. If we'd only bought one and it was Shanna's, we'd say they're fantastic. But I've had a few issues with mine. So, first off, the pump they send with them, the manual one, at least this first one, the switch, there's 3 positions, so as it gets more full, you switch from 1 to 2 to 3, of course. It doesn't want to switch, like, it's a pain to fight, switch back and forth. So Shanna's also bringing the other pump to see if it's any better. But the other issue is the action mounts they have on these. I'll spin this around and kind of explain. So you can see iRocker puts these action mounts all the way down. So you can hook bungee cords, carabiners, whatever you need to. All your accessories can be easily carried with you. And they're on here pretty good. But here in a minute I'm going to air up mine and I'll show you the difference. Okay, so taking a breather halfway through airing this thing up. So the action mounts I was showing you on Shanna's. If you look at mine, you can see mine have started to come off. So there's that one, and then back where this string is, this one here should be all the way over here. Shanna's tried to glue these back on once, and then they just kind of started popping loose again. So get through this trip, we're gonna have to deflate this one and really figure out a trick to getting these back on better. So that'd be the main complaint about these. And iRocker says not to store these in the sun, which we don't. We keep them in our mud room, completely out of the sun at all times. Now if we do paddleboard over to like the beach across the way from our cove, it might sit out there for a while, and when we get back, we put it on the dock and let it dry out. So, I mean, it's summer in Georgia, it's gonna get some sun. It's a dang paddleboard. It should be built to be in the sun pretty much all the time. But that's my knock on them. Other than that, they're stable, comfortable. Everything else is good on them, and Shanna's has not had this problem. So it could be just an issue with mine, but I don't know. It's annoying though. This is our public service announcement. Don't count on the manual inflating of these paddleboards. Get a good electric pump. By the time you get 2 of them pumped up, you're barely in the mood to go out.
At least we can go out tomorrow, possibly, if we don't want to go out today.
I still want to go today if we can. Might be a shorter trip. So the campground at least has these little stair things. Just, they're rocks, so I'm not sure how smooth they'll be when they're wet. But we get to see how to navigate these with the paddleboards.
And wind.
Yeah, these paddleboards in the wind can be a little tricky.
Going up this.
I'm getting pushed out to sea. Yeah, that's fun. We didn't go out too long. It's really windy. So going one direction, you go really fast. On the way back, it seemed like we were standing still. And there's some storms that might be moving in, so we didn't want to get stuck too far out there. But we at least got out there. Hopefully tomorrow it's a calmer day and we can go a little further out. But still, good times. Well, we decided to walk down here to the little shelter area, enjoy the sunset, and figured might as well go ahead and give a rundown of what we've thought so far. Hopefully it's not too dark to see us in here, but so biggest complaint.
There's no walking trails.
Yeah, so as far as stuff to do,
It's paddleboard or fishing.
yeah.
That's basically it.
Yeah, so if you're gonna be on the water the whole time, it's a super peaceful, super quiet place. The water, I mean, yeah, water's awesome. Pretty big lake for paddleboarding, and it's only small boats allowed, so you don't have to worry about the wake boats and everything that we get on our lake that are trying to kill you.
Yeah.
My biggest complaint's not the lake water, but the campground water. So whether you use the water at your sites or go to the shelter house, it is sulfur, rotten egg smelling water, really bad. So makes you feel unclean just getting a shower. So that's probably my biggest drawback.
Well, and the showers aren't
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, they looked decent at first, but then you get in there, the shower heads don't work well, the pressure's awful. It's not set up very well, so not thrilled with that. The place gets awesome reviews online. Everyone else loves it, so apparently we're just too picky.
Well, most people take showers in their own camper, but since our camper's a
Yeah.
wet bath,
But even that, like if it was decent water, at least in the camper, wouldn't be bad.
well, it's not bad in the camper.
I thought you said it still smelled bad in there.
No, I just said the water looks nasty when I
Yeah.
do the water dish, but it don't smell in
Oh,
ours.
you told me last night it smelled.
No,
You said the water was just as bad in the camper.
no,
See,
I was just saying.
We don't communicate well.
I was saying that it looks nasty when I give the dog his water dish, but it don't smell in our camper.
Well, it would have been nice to know a day ago. But anyway, yeah, so don't count on the shower houses. Tomorrow, we'll drive the campground. There are some really cool spots up here. So we'll drive around a little bit, show you some of that, figure out a good way to do it, and kind of highlight some good spots. But yeah, I doubt we'd come back here, but I definitely see why other people enjoy it. Just not our kind of campground, really. We like hiking trails and be able to go do stuff at the campground more,
Yeah.
whether it's historical stuff or, yeah, the hiking stuff or just anything like that. Just this is about 25, 30 camping spots, and then the highway.
Yeah, the highway's the big thing. Luckily, we got a back spot, and we're not as close to the highway.
Yeah, in your camper, it's probably not as bad. But if you're on the front half of the campground, there's a state highway that goes right by there, and it's really loud. I mean, we can kind of hear the cars here outside, but just a little. Up there, they're really loud. So that kind of sucks.
Now, we did get a pull through this time. Super easy to do.
Yes.
So I'm definitely glad we got another pull through next month, because hopefully that one's as easy as this one was.
It was nice just pulling in, and like it was pretty level too, so it was just, I didn't even have to get my Anderson blocks out. It was just one thin spacer block that I put under there, and it was perfectly level.
Yeah,
Super easy.
He rolled up it and was like,
Done.
okay, here we go.
So that was nice. But yeah, if you're looking to just chill, read a book by the camper, do some fishing, kayaking.
There's mall and stuff like
Yes.
that within 20,
Yeah, in
25
fairness.
minutes,
Well,
but
15 minutes really.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Bass Pro Shops, some nice, but we have the
outside
dog.
mall.
Yeah, with the dog here, and as hot as it is, we don't like leaving for that long until we get a remote monitoring system in the camper.
Yeah,
We don't want to do that.
a better AC,
Yeah.
because the camper struggles during the day.
Well, the site we chose, we didn't know has no shade.
Yeah, that don't help
So
either.
that'd be one thing. If you got up on the front side where it's louder, you'd at least have shade. We don't have that, so yeah, we didn't want to leave him in there that long. Yeah, so if you don't have the animal issue too,
Yeah.
then this is 15-20 minutes to tons of shopping and other stuff to do. But
there's a little town that sounds like there's some nice restaurants too. We haven't went there. They were just all closed on Monday, so
yeah.
we thought about, and that was closer. We thought about going, but everything's closed.
Yeah, so if you stay on a long weekend and it extends into Monday, there's not much near open on Monday unless you go to like chain stuff that's in Macon. But other than that, we slept good last night.
Yeah, it was dark.
Well, maybe next week we'll give a little update on how the camper stuff went.
Yeah.
But I bet by now with that sun going down, you can barely see us, so we probably wrap this up before we're just sitting in the dark. So we'll fill you guys in on more tomorrow.
Bye.
Good morning. So it's our last day here. The plan was to get up, spend the morning a little, then do some paddleboarding, maybe mid-late morning. Got freaking cold. Woke up freezing last night, and then it's about 62 degrees out. Not even gonna get in the mid-70s till afternoon. So there's no way I'm getting Shannon on a paddleboard. So we'll remap out the day on that. Will comment, we've talked about the air conditioner here before. Still needs upgraded. But not only do we need to upgrade the size of it, I want one with thermostatic control. This one's just like high, low, super high kind of thing. So with the sun on the camper last night, it was pretty warm in here, so we had it on high. Then by the time it cooled off middle of the night, then it just got freezing. So then we woke up really cold middle of the night. So I'd like to get one where I can actually set a temperature. So that'll be coming this winter. Oh, Shanna's back. We'll say this is one of the prettier campgrounds we've been at as far as campsites. The way it's laid out with the lake is pretty awesome. Okay, so we are working on putting our paddleboards back up. We got one of them. This is one of the biggest pains with these things. You have to get them folded just right. We'll see if Shanna can do better than I just did. Yeah, see now the problem is, pull that up, Shanna, where you were. So the problem now is you see this white piece on bottom, that gets the wrong fold. Also, if you get the last hit where it hits on the air piece, it won't let it fold.
Okay, so then that means this is too big.
Yeah, now you're hitting, keep going, you'll have to hit it. Yeah, because now you have these two that cause a problem. Well, we can try to bundle it and see what happens here.
Okay.
So we're going for a little morning walk here. Figure while we're at it, we show you a couple of the better campsites out here. Walked around last day or two, and they do have some really cool sites. Lake's beautiful, so figured we'd highlight a few as we walk. So this is site 24. You can see it's a little bit of a smaller site, so if you had a small camper like ours, you at least have shade and back right up to the lake, so that's not too bad.
See, I would do this site.
Yep.
Just the noise. The only thing, the downside.
So we're walking up to site 28 right now. You can kind of tell it's got this big turnaround for the campers. So at least from a back end perspective, you have tons of room to spin around and line up and back into the spot.
Looks pretty flat.
Yeah, it's a really level spot. Trees on both sides so you have shade. And the view's awesome. Not sure if you can hear the cars in the background, but that's the only downside. pretty good spot. And if you want to fish or do paddleboarding, you got a good little spot right here to step in and get your paddleboards or kayaks out. Whoa, that was a big fish. Our campsite is over there. So you can see this site here is probably the most plush site here as far as setup. Full concrete pad. Still a little bit of lake view. Let's see, this is site
21.
Yeah. 21. So good size pad. You get the grill, the fire ring, and the table. So not a bad setup. So coming back to our site here, you can see we're here on the left. This is site 11. Nice pull through site.
Pretty level.
Yeah, it was level. I think if I was coming back, I might do the one across the way there. Just because in the evenings, this site has no shade, that one does. So it keeps the camper a little cooler going into nighttime. But not a bad site, we enjoyed it. So our first impressions of this place was a little bit low, just because of the road noise and lack of trails. But as we've spent several days here, it's kind of grown on us. So if you can get over the road noise up at the front, there are some awesome sites. This site wasn't bad at all. And if we didn't have a 14-year-old dog that was in a blazing hot camper potentially, then we would have went into Macon and
went shopping.
Yeah, went shopping, explored, done more. So it was just, it's a very relaxed, chill campground. So if you used it for that and then bounced off to do other things, really nice.
And if you have bathrooms in your camper, then that's not a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, just a half bath for us, and then these bathrooms not being the best. And maybe as campground hosts rotate, maybe that's better too. But yeah, so pretty good time. We've debated, we've went to Hamburg State Park before.
I like that place.
That's what we were discussing. We'll have to think about it more on which one we'd prefer to go back to next if we were going to do a close to the house weekend. But we'll see. Let it settle in and go pros and cons, and we'll just see where we end up next time. Well, we got the campsite mostly tore down here. Put a couple chairs up. But we were going to hang out half the day and check out later, but I think we're probably going to get around and get going soon, just get home. So that'll wrap this one up, and here when we get a chance, we'll do a few more upgrades to the camper and kind of go through some of that with you. How it went this trip definitely was better than the last one, so our upgrades worked. And then we have a few ideas for some small things we need to do before next time, which is coming up quick. So we'll see you guys next time.